Hi, I'm Melissa Tremblay, and I'm an educational advocate with the law firm Special Education Law and Advocacy, and I'm here with Mark Camlighter today.
Hi, and I'm the senior attorney for the Special Education Law and Advocacy firm.
Mark, I hear you have great news coming up and a big announcement. Would you like to share with us what's going on?
I think it is big news. For years, I've had parents ask me, where can we get training so that we know how to advocate for our own children? And I've had advocates come to me and say, we want more training, we want more depth, we want to develop more skills in our advocacy. Other than some national programs, I haven't found really any way to meet that. We have decided here that we're going to start to respond to that need by offering a series of webinars.
Great, that sounds like a wonderful idea. What are your qualifications that make you an expertise to do this?
Well, I'm a former special education teacher. I've taught both autism and children with profound intellectual disabilities, as well as I've been a school-wide behavior specialist. So that gives me some experience on the educational side of the table. Other than that, I've been practicing special educational law for 20 years, and I've recently been certified in educational law by the Florida Bar. And this basically means I'm permitted to hold myself out as an expert or a specialist in educational law.
Wonderful. So these webinars, what kind of topics are we going to do webinars on?
Well, we'll eventually be covering the ball field. We'll be covering all the basics of how to advocate for children with disabilities.
Okay.
But at the same time, I always say I want to scratch where it itches, and so we're going to start off with what I call hot button topics.
Wonderful.
That jump right into the deep end of the pool,
Okay.
and so our first one is going to be dealing with behavior.
Great topic.
How to obtain behavior supports, how to deal with school discipline of children with disabilities, and how to make sure you have a good behavior plan is positive and is going to help your child.
Right.
The second thing is a lot of parents understand that they need good evaluations for their children.
True.
But I think a lot of times they're not sure how to go about getting the evaluations. They may not be sure what evaluations to get, and then when they get them, they may not know how to understand the evaluation.
Right.
So the second webinar we're going to do is about evaluations, and we're going to try to cover all those topics, at least give a basis so that parents can deal with the issues that arise around the question of evaluations.
Great.
The third hot topic that we're going to look at as we sort of get into this series is on eligibility.
Okay.
Eligibility, the state has an obligation, the schools have an obligation to seek out and find and identify children with disabilities. So you would think the schools would be on top of the identification and they would do it. If they did, I'd probably be out of business. The truth is schools put as many roadblocks as they can in the way of obtaining eligibility.
Right.
This webinar is going to look at what's necessary for eligibility, how to establish those elements so that you can show that the child is eligible, and lead you through all the thorny issues that arise around the question of eligibility.
Wow, that sounds like so much great information. So how are these webinars going to work? How long do they last? How are folks going to be able to access getting this information from you?
Okay, and this is another reason I think the webinar works well. Sometimes in the past, I've asked parents to travel and come to a site where I'm going to teach for 2 days. And so for 6-7 hours a day, I'm having to talk and people are having to listen. And for families that have children with disabilities, I think that's hard.
Yes.
And so I only reach a few people who can do that. The webinar, you can take it anywhere. You can take it on your laptop, your computer, even on your cell phone. So you don't have to go anywhere. Wherever you can connect to our webinar cast is good. And
So will these be conducive for people's schedules?
yeah, what we're thinking about doing right now is to offer, when we select the dates, to offer a morning schedule about 10 o'clock. It'll be a work day, okay? People's weekends are full, we understand that, so we'll choose a work day. We'll do one at 10 o'clock. These are about 90 minutes long. I always say 2 hours to give 15 minutes to get into it and 15 minutes to get out of it, but 90 minutes of solid teaching. Then we're going to offer one at night, and probably 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. Let people get their dinners, then relax in front of a computer and join us in class. I think the interactive part of this is what's really important.
I know if I was able to access a webinar where I could physically talk to an attorney and hear and learn the skills that you've developed over the years, that would be so beneficial for me and my child.
And I think, it's funny. I mean, we're all dealing with education. We all know that real education comes not in just hearing the knowledge or the information, but comes in using it, right?
Right.
And so the first way we can use it is to discuss it, to chew on it, to bat it back and forth, and we're going to remember that, and it's going to become part of us. Can't do that on just a recording, but with webinar, the interactive aspects of webinar, you can ask questions, you can join in discussion. I
understand you're actually going to have handouts for people.
Yeah, I'll be honest, people have said, how can I get good training? So we're taking it serious. So we don't figure you want just a little bit of general information, but when we give you information, you're going to want to go deep into it, okay? We also know we'll have people who are newbies, who really don't know much, right? And then people who are more experienced, and how do you balance that out? And for me, the way to do it is to have good written materials that are available before the class so that people can have read it. That means the newbie is going to have an opportunity to catch up a little bit.
Right, that's a great idea.
And then it also means that I don't spend my 90 minutes reading the handout to you.
Right. That
you read it, your adults, you read it ahead of time, and then we interact with the information that's in the handout. And to me, that's education, and I think it's essential.
Sounds like a great plan. I'm so excited. I know the news will be coming out soon. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us that's coming?
Well, just one other thing. Now, some people want this for their own personal use. They don't need to show that they got a badge, that they attended a webinar or a series of webinars. Some people are trying to develop their training as professionals,
sure.
Professional advocates. We're offering at the end of each webinar a short exam, voluntary. You don't have to take it, but it's a way of establishing. We can say you took the course. We saw you, hopefully on a camera,
right?
And we saw you there. We can say you took the course, but to show that you're competent in the material on the course, we offer this exam. For advocates or parents who have taken the course, who have passed the exam, we're going to keep a record of that, okay? So if you ever need like a certificate that says the following person has taken the following courses and demonstrated confidence in the material, then that's there for you. There doesn't exist presently any accreditation for advocates.
Okay.
So, but sometimes we want to be able to say, yeah, but I've been studying and I can demonstrate I'm competent.
Right.
And this is one way.
Very good. Well, I know I'm really excited about this webinar series coming up. We'll have a series of 5 in the fall into the winter, and then after the holiday break, we'll have an additional 5 from February to the end of the school year. We're in the works now of setting the dates and the topics for all of these, and but we wanted to give you guys a heads up of what's coming. And so stay tuned to our website and the Facebook page for more information, and we'll be seeing you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.